Good day, everyone. I am Alfeba Ajasid from BS Stud English 1A. Today, together with my group mates, we will be discussing the Module 7 of NSCP 1 entitled Youth Leadership Training and Organization.
So, to start off with our discussion, let me ask you a question. So, what do you mean by leader and leadership? So, according to the definition of leader and leadership from the module, leadership is the art of influencing people to get the necessary support and cooperation in community affairs and to maintain solidarity among people. So it is the ability to influence others towards desired goals. So it can also mean doing the right things. Okay, so when you are a leader, you're automatically thrown with a huge responsibilities. So which means that you have to have a good leadership to influence the people to do a good deed. Okay, so let's move on. So a leader is one who helps or facilitates communities of people, takes risks, and envisions a better future for his or her group, encourages commitment, and helps people move ahead along a path to accomplish a goal. So, aside from it, leaders are needed to make decisions to direct community activities and to speak for the community both in relation to its internal organization and its outside relationships. So, just like what I have said earlier, that being a leader or once you're a leader, you're automatically thrown with a huge responsibilities. Okay, so, diba? So that's why you have to do your best, or you have to have a good or great leadership to make these responsibilities worth it, or your sacrifices to become a leader worth it. Okay, now so let's move on with the virtues as a foundation of leadership. So first we have virtues defined as conformity to a standard of right and morality. So it is a beneficial quality or power of a team and thus a commendable trait or habit. So next is the following virtues are considered foundation of leadership. So we actually have 10 considered foundation of leadership. So first is prudence. So prudence is the habit which enables man to direct his actions to human life's goals, knowing the right thing to do and applying it. Justice, the habit of giving each one his or her due with a constant perpetual will, gives stability that a person needs to work without fear and anxiety in search of happiness. So next is fortitude, the habit of overcoming the difficulties and pressures of life in pursuit of goodness. So next is temperance, the habit of bringing desires and natural inclinations of man under the control of reason. So letter A is industry, the habit of working hard and working under pressure. So next is loyalty, the habit of remaining true to your friends and your principles or goals in times of difficulty. So letter G is responsibility, the habit of being accountable for one's actions, duties, and obligations, readiness to answer for the consequences of one's actions. So cheerfulness, the habit of being optimistic, always seeing the bright side of things. So next is letter I, generosity, the habit of sharing the good that one has with other people, thinking first of the people around him or her and looking for ways he or she can help and serve them. So last is magnanimity. So the habit of having great ideas and ambitions of doing good, being concerned with doing great deeds of service to others by devoting one's life to help one's countries and people. So, we have nine traits of leadership. So, first is true leadership is the art of changing a group from what it is into what it ought to be. So, in simple words, it means that um, a leader can change a group into something new, or they change in a good way, you know. So next is leadership is the ability to recognize a problem before it becomes an emergency. A leader or leadership doesn't need to wait a problem to be big, you know. So next is leadership and learning are dispensable to each other. So fourth is leadership is learning to give without expecting anything in return. If you ever give something to get something back, you are not giving in the true sense of the word. You are trading. So fifth is on the other side of the coin of leadership is loneliness. For he or she who is a leader must always act alone, and nothing alone means accepting everything alone. So sixth is leadership is the ability to handle uncertainty. So seven is what is T? So this is the aspect of leadership that is concerned with outward appearance. It means looking dressed and talking like a leader. So yung eight na leadership has nothing to do with ordering people around or directing their every move. Okay, so dito siguro nagkakaroon ng mga misconception ng ibang tao na once you're a leader, you have the right to command the people or the members of the group, yung mga ganun. Kasi diba usually, sabi nila na once you're a leader, you have to do these things na I have the right to demand, I have the right to, direct your every move, which is wrong. Kasi hindi ka rin sa leadership, hindi ka rin yung leader. Okay, the only thing you need to do is um, guide them. Is the ability to handle uncertainty. So, seven is what is T? So, this is the aspect of leadership that is concerned with outward appearance. It means looking dressed and talking like a leader. So, yung eight na leadership has nothing to do with ordering people around or directing their every move. Okay, so dito siguro nagkakaroon ng mga misconception ng ibang tao na once you're a leader, you have the right to command the people or the members of the group, yung mga ganun. Kasi diba usually, sabi nila na once you're a leader, you have to do these things na I have the right to demand, I have the right to, direct your every move, which is wrong. Kasi hindi ka rin sa leadership, hindi ka rin yung leader. Okay, the only thing you need to do is um, guide them, and stop ordering or directing their every move. You only need to do is um, guide, and for sure they will ask help if they need to. So next is the last part. Is the climax of leadership is to know when to do what. Okay, now so let's move on with the qualities of a good leader. So we actually have nine qualities of a good leader.
Good day, everyone. I am Bertolano Hennessy, one of the reporter of Module 7 Youth Leadership Training and Organization, more on characteristic of a leader, leadership styles, enabling leadership or participation, and team building for youth organization. Every one of us has our ideas about the meaning of the words leader. The words are widely used across organizations and countries and in a huge range of contexts, including religious and organizational. However, the only idea that can truly be said to be completely common to all concept of leader is that the leader is the person in charge of or leading their followers. Along with this matter, can afford to rely only on the power and authority vested in their position. They also need characteristics. Even if leaders have no common traits, they share characteristics that in totally define their works. So here are some of the characteristics of a leader by Wadsworth 1997. So a good leader must always possess good characteristics which will serve as a good indicator that they can portray the character of a good leader. Next, we have the leadership styles. Leadership styles refer to the behavioral approach employed by leaders to influence, motivate, and direct their followers. A leadership style determines how leaders implement plans and strategies to accomplish given objectives while accounting for stakeholder expectations and the well being and soundness of their team. So, leadership style has three types, which are authoritarian leadership, survival, consultative leadership, security, and enabling leadership, participation. Let's first tackle authoritarian leadership or survival. Authoritarian leadership, also known as autocratic leadership, is a management style in which an individual has total decision making, power, and absolute control over his subordinates. An authoritarian leader makes decisions on policies, procedures, and group objectives with little or no input from his or her team members or followers. The following are the chief characteristics of authoritarian leadership. A leader makes a decision and announces it. A leader announces his or her decision with no feeling of responsibility or accountability to share the reasons. As they have the power, they are also aware that it will have a good impact on their organization. A leader presents decision but tell them to the members. A leader announces his or her decision and shares the reason behind them, which has been prepared in advance. Simply, in every decision that a leader makes, the reason behind it has been prepared in advance as it will simply benefit each individual as leaders want only the best for all. A leader presents a decision and invites questions for clarification. As a leader announces his or her decision but responds to questions for clarification on an impromptu basis with a rationale to explain to the members. This also refers to dialogue with no express willingness to change decision. As leaders are open to answering questions for clarification according to their decision, but there is no chance for people to change the leader's decision as they stick to one. Next, we have the consultative leadership or security. Consultative leadership is a leadership style that targets team building and uses the skill of others to create plans and make decisions. Leaders consult with their teams to obtain their suggestions and opinions to help them make informed and strategic decisions. Here are some of the different viewpoints that help them make more strategic decisions than they would make on their own. 1. A leader present a tentative decision subject to change. So, a leader announces his or her tentative decision and state that he or she is open to question for clarification and discussion. This refers to dialogue with a willingness to change a decision if necessary. Second, a leader presents a situation, gets input, and makes a decision. So here, a leader identifies a situation or problem and assumes a facilitating role to elicit assumptions and suggestions, then slip out of his or her facilitating role and makes a decision. Third, a leader calls on members to make a decision but holds the veto power. So, a leader here calls on the group to identify situation and limitations, explores possibilities, and make a decision contingent on the leader's veto power. It simply means that even with members' decisions, leader still has the veto power that make it possible to implement. Lastly, we have the enabling leadership or participation. Enabling leadership is very different from the normal order driven operational leadership style, as enabling leadership requires a mindset shift such that my role is to think about how I can facilitate and enable adaptation, emergence, and change, rather than directing people on what to do. Enabling leadership style is about complex thinking and creating the conditions for the emergence and therefore adaptation, as it requires thinking about how to open up adaptive space, how to operate in adaptive space, and knowing when adaptation and change are needed, looking at trends, being agile and ready to bring change in. So, in enabling leadership or participation, we have first, a leader defines limits and calls on members to make a decision. So, here a leader shares any givens, examples, available fund, times allowance, or etc., and facilitates a decision by members based on limitations or parameters. Next, we have a leader calls on members to identify limits, explore possibilities, and make a decision. In this area, a leader maintains a facilitating role by allowing members to identify a situation or problem, identify limits, explore possibilities, and make a decisions. Lastly, team building for youth organization. Team development, more on youth organization. A youth organization is a collection of teams composed of young people. The success of a youth organization depends on the ability of the teams within it to work together to attain the commonly held objectives. Because organizations are becoming increasingly more complex, team leaders must be concerned with developing more cohesive and cooperative relation between members and the teams. The development of effective teams within the organization will determine to a large extent the ability of the youth organization to attain its goals. So examples of youth organizations are Boy Scout, Girl Scout, and Campfire. Typically, youth organizations focus on promoting and ensuring young people's democratic and social rights, encouraging their social participation at all levels in community life, and offering opportunities for personal and social development through leisure activities, voluntary engagement, and non-formal and informal learning that will be a very big help in attaining goals, especially in the future.
Good day, sir. My name is Nurhalisa Idukulan, and I will discuss about the factors contributing to team development and effectiveness. Factors contributing to team development and effectiveness. The development of a team is based on the assumption that any team can work more effectively if its members are familiar with the four contribute to team development and effectiveness. So, may apat na factor na dapat sundin ng mga team. So, number one is shared goals and objectives. Number two, utilization of resources. Number three, trust and conflict resolution. Number four, shared leadership. Number one, shared goals and objectives. The goals must express a general understanding of the role of the team in the total organization. Dapat ma-express nila ang pagkakaintindi nila sa mga role nila para sa lahat. Number two, utilization of resources. This means establishing an environment that allows individuals to be used, maximizing the use of team members requires full participation and self-regulation. Dapat ang mga team ay mag-full and required ang members sa participation nila and self-regulation. Number 3, trust and conflict resolution. The ability to openly recognize conflict and seek to resolve it through discussion is critical to the team's success. Dapat nagdi-discuss ang mga members and dapat may trust sila sa isa't isa para magawa nila yung goals nila. Number 4, shared leadership. Individuals will not function as a team if they are brought together simply to rubber stamp decisions made by the team's formal leader or others not in the team. So, ano ba meaning ng rubber stamp? Ang rubber stamp is yung bigla-biglang ginagawa, yung decision, planning, nang hindi nila iniisip kung anong magiging kalabasan. Kaya, hindi magpa-function ang isang team kung bigla silang magra-rubber stamp. Dapat mag-share din sila ng leadership. The next thing that I will discuss is about the team relationship and management. Team relationship and management is an approach to improve the effectiveness of an organization's teams and the well-being of the people on those teams. So, ito yung team relationship and management. Dapat be an active listener. Lagi kang dapat nakikinig sa mga pinag-uusapan ng members mo, ng leader mo. And set some meeting ng ground rules. Dapat may mga rules din kayo sa isang grupo para hindi magulo yung team ninyo. Develop stronger facilitation skills and intentionally pair on work item. Dapat sa isang gawain, hindi lang isang tao ang gumagawa nun. By pair or by trio, kung pwede. And set up virtual team activities. The next thing, sir, is building a better team. So, building a better team is the team takes time and patience, plus the ability to recognize a good organization. Number 1 is assemble the team. Number 2, determine the goals. Number 3, set expectation. Number 4, monitor and review. Number 5, celebrate and reward. Dapat may mga ganito kayong characteristics para maging better yung team ninyo. And number 6 is unity. Kasi dapat may pagkakaisa ang grupo, ang team ninyo para ma-achieve nyo yung goals ninyo. A team will not work if members are self-centered, and maybe there will be no fun, excitement, and sharing. Teamwork divides the effort and multiplies the success. Kailangan teamwork para yung effort ninyo mag-multiply siya sa success at hindi dapat isa-isa or hindi kayo nakakasundo sa isang grupo. The next thing, sir, is the characteristics of an effective team. The characteristics of an effective team are, number 1 is share sense of purpose or common goals. Each team member is willing to work to achieve these goals. Dapat may mga nagsishare din sila ng mga purpose nila, ng mga common goals nila sa mga bawat membro at willing silang makipagtrabaho dito para ma-achieve nila yung goals nila. Number 2 is aware of and interested on its own processes and examines norms operating within the group. Dapat aware sila at interesado sila sa mga proseso at mga examiners nila doon sa grupo na yon. Number 3 is the team willingly accept the influence and leadership of the member. Dapat ang grupo is ma-accept nila yung pagiging leadership ng isang miyembro sa grupo nila. Number 4 is the team members continue to listen to and clarify what is said and show interest in what others say and feel. Dapat laging nakikinig, laging nagsho-show ng interest sa mga gawa at kung ano man ang sinasabi ng iba. Number 5, exerts energy towards problem solving rather than allowing it to be drained by interpersonal issues or competitive struggles. Dapat laging may enerhiyo para ma-resolve ang mga problema kaysa naman pabayaan ito. And dapat may encourage ka, may trust ka sa kanila, may respect bawat isa. Balance dapat ang pag-share ng facilitate both the accomplishment of tasks and feeling of team cohesion and moral. The next thing, sirs, is the characteristics of effective team leader. Number 1 is communicate. Number 2, open, honest, and fair. Dapat siya sa lahat ng mga members niya. And number 3, make decision with inputs from others. Number 5, give the team members the information they need to do their jobs. Dapat alam ng mga membro kung ano yung mga kailangan nilang malaman sa leader. Dapat sinasabi niya yon sa mga member niya para magawa nila yung mga trabaho. Number 6 is set goals and emphasize them. Number 7, keep focus. Dapat focus lang sa goal. Number 8, listen to feedback and ask question. Dapat makinig ka sa mga feedback ng mga miyembro mo, ng ibang tao, and magtanong ka din ng questions. Number 9, show loyalty to the organization, the team, and the team members. Dapat magpakita ka ng loyal mo sa bawat members at sa bawat team. Number 10, create an atmosphere growth. Dapat yung yung team mo, mayroon siyang effective ng pag-growth niya ng hindi dapat ito magiging toxic. Number 11, have wide visibility. Number 12, give praise and recognition. And number 13 is develop plan. Dapat may mga plano ka din. Number 14, share their mission and goals. Dapat may mission and goals ka and dapat i-share mo to sa mga team mo and members. The last number is number 15. Number 15 is criticize constructively and address problems. Dapat pumuna ng nakabubuo at tuguan ang mga problema na naaayon. Thank you.
Good day, sir. My name is Atria Dawa, and today I'm going to discuss my part in Module 7, a Dream Team Leader. As Dream Team Leader provides the support needed for success, the support is created, the leader decides to be facilitator rather than a director. The total control by the leader, even if he or she is somewhat able to achieve, it is never as effective as a group effect. So to be specific, a team leader should provide guidance and instruction to his or her group. So what is the difference between how detector and facilitator operates? Detector hoard or monopolize decisions, while the facilitator push decisions down the line. In detectors, make decisions alone or restrict them to an elite group, while the facilitator involve others as much as possible in key decisions and give people space to make those decisions. So what is the difference between how detector and facilitator operates? Detector hoard or monopolize decisions, while the facilitator push decisions down the line. In detectors, make decisions alone or restrict them to an elite group. In facilitator, involves others as much as possible in key decisions and give people space to make decisions. In detector, view truth and wisdoms as their domain since they are the leader, while in facilitator, view truth and wisdoms as being accessible to everyone throughout the organizations. So what is the characteristic of an effective team member? So we have here that follows the effective team member. First is support the team leader. It could help the leader to overcome the challenges that they encounter. Second is help the team leader to succeed. They should try to encourage teamwork. Third is ensure that all viewpoints are explored. Fourth is express opinions both for and against. So to be an effective team member, they should express their opinions and thought, or if they are against to their decisions of the leader. So we have the common team problem, backbiting and complaining. Members of the team openly complain about and find fault with one another. Team members are not clear about standards leading to the loss of control over one another. Presence of a spy of the owner. Member of the team suspect and distrust new member. New member have difficulty breaking into established team. 2 coalitions. The team has 2 functions, one which has very little influence or power. The team experience lack of cohesive or pagkakaisa. 7 team well-being secret. First is purpose. A healthy team has a well-articulated corporate and team usually praised as a vision statement, mission statement, or value purpose. Second is role. In a healthy team, the member are continuous ask themselves whether the team is enacting the specific role needed to achieve its purpose. Third is strategy. In a healthy team, the member understands the team's strategy and uses it to guide day-to-day activities. Fourth is process. In a healthy team, the members are aware of what process or system of operations are used to produce results. 5 is people. A healthy team has members who have the required expertise and knowledge to implement the team's strategy and achieve its purpose. Number 6 is feedback. A healthy team solicits feedback on its behavior and performance from key stakeholders. And lastly, number 7 is interface. A healthy team intentionally manage and critical relationship with external people on the environment to build needed relationships and enhance existing ones. So that's all.